please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Okay, all right. Keep an eye out on the index. Well, you have the Nifty Bank that's doing a relative underperformance yet again. So just keep an eye out on that front. That's because ICICI Bank, that's trading with a cut of nearly around 1%. In otherwise, strongish market because we're seeing gains of around 35 to around 40 points on the Nifty. And yet you have ICICI Bank that's lower. And HDFC Bank, I think that's the third straight session that we're seeing selling on HDFC Bank. That's been a bit of a drag. Remember, the first day of this series, we had a fabulous start, a good start for the Nifty. But the Nifty Bank was a relative underperformer because HDFC Bank was dragging. In the last few days, we've seen a sharp cut in HDFC Bank. Maybe if we pull up a wider time horizon, we'll see that the stock has seen some selling from the recent peak as well. So that's the intraday chart of HDFC Bank. You pull up the last 1 week chart or so, you'll see, in fact, that stock has corrected a bit from the top. In the last few days, in fact, it's corrected close to around 4 to around 5% from around the 2,150 odd mark. But a lot of stocks moving and shaking. So let's start off with 8K Miles. Remember, the stock has lost more than 30% this week. We spoke to the chairman and the chief executive officer of the company. He says that the company is not facing any auditor issues currently, as that Deloitte has signed the standalone results of the company. Let's hear them out.
There is no auditor problem or no issues. We adapted the Ind AS for the consolidated first time this year. So it was taking a little longer, and we announced the news last night that we will be releasing our consolidated financial on July 17th. But going forward, we don't anticipate any delays, and we would be able to even release our first quarter results very quickly. We will make corrective measures. We noted your point, and I think that is one of the reasons unnecessary panic has created in the market. I think we should have handled better, and we will do it rightfully. They signed the standalone financials because they said, okay, you at least release the standalone on schedule, and consolidated we can do it. So there is no red flags.
All right, that is about 8K Miles Software. Let's find out about some other stocks that are in the news. Anisha joins in for more on that. Anisha?
Good afternoon, Rima. I'll start with IDBI Bank because that one has been in focus. Today it's down about 5%. I'm not sure if these reports is the reason for the stock downtick, but definitely in focus. Now, talking about the reports which we are picking up from agencies that suggest that LIC will independently value IDBI Bank, and the government might actually look to get a premium on the IDBI Bank value, and they expect that the deal will be completed within the next 3 months. Moving on to NCC, wherein they have bagged 4 orders to the tune of around 2,000 crore rupees. That is in the month of June. For the quarter itself, they have bagged orders for around 3,700 odd crores, and the stock is active on account of that. JSPL is in focus because the Q1 domestic steel production has grown by around 36%, and they have shown the highest ever quarterly number in the Q1 of FY19, and that's the reason that stock is active in trade today as well. Mannapuram General Finance is in focus because they have acquired around 85.4% stake in Indian School Finance Company for a value of 212 crore rupees, and they expect that the deal will be done over the next 8 months. Lastly, a few buzzing stock that caught my eye. Dilip Buildcon today is logged in upper circuit. Over the last few days, it has been in down circuit, so a bit of relief for the investors there. Kiri Industries, we have been discussing, a news came by, but the stock was up around 20% even before that. Venetia Bio is also active in trade. NDTV on the flip side is down about 7-8%, and Matrimony, a stock that was gaining in double digits earlier in the week, is seeing a bit of downtick today. Back to you.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much for that, Anisha. Well, Hero MotoCorp, those numbers look very, very good. Sonia, run us through those details.
Yes, the numbers were actually quite good. They were better than what the street was estimating, and that's why you're seeing the stock in the green this afternoon, up about 1.5%. Total sales growth of 13% is what Hero MotoCorp has clocked in this time. 7.05 lakhs is a very good run rate. Actually, if you see the graph for the last 3 or 4 months, 3 months, that is the month of March, May and June, they've hit a run rate of 7 lakh plus. And, if you put together the first quarter of FY19, it's the highest quarterly run rate that Hero MotoCorp has seen at 2.1 million units. Looking pretty good. And the management in their press release does indicate, they do indicate that because of the monsoons doing well, the rural growth is expected to pick up further. So perhaps they could hold on to the 7 lakh run rate going ahead as well.
Okay. Thank you very much. Sonal, United Breweries, there's an upgrade there?
That's right, Reema. MK has upgraded United Breweries to buy from accumulate, and that is because they expect good volume growth in Q1 of FY19. They also expect good margin expansion, that is on account of better realizations in the state of Uttar Pradesh, also because of the various price increases that the company took in across India. Also, they have a lot of focus on cost-saving initiatives, and that is something that will lead to margin expansion. So in Q1 of FY19, MK expects United Breweries to report volume growth of around 12%, revenue growth of around 20%, and profit growth around 39%. Looking for United Breweries today. Back to you.
Okay, all right. So now cheers all the way then for United Breweries, sitting with a gain of close to around 2.5%. Well, let's do a quick recap of all the buzzing stocks we just covered. We have Hero MotoCorp, United Breweries, 8K Miles, IDBI Bank, NCC, JSPL, Mannapuram General Finance, Dilip Buildcon, Kiri Industries, Panacea Bio, NDTV, and Matrimony.
Get into a break then. On the other side, amid incessant rains, Mumbai witnesses another bridge collapse in Andheri. We'll get chatting with Ravinder Bhakar, the CPRO Western Railway, for all the latest updates. Mumbai has been receiving heavy rains since last evening, and the incessant rains Mumbai has witnessed another casualty. A foot-over bridge has collapsed, this time in suburban Andheri. The collapse has resulted in widespread railway services disruption, and traffic on the road is hit. Ravinder Bhakar, the CPRO or Western Railway, joins us right now. Good afternoon, Mr. Bhakar. Thanks so much for joining in. Have the train services for Western Railway resumed? If you could just first give us a status update.
Yeah, good afternoon, ma'am. Actually, as of now on Western route, the trains are running from Churchgate to Bandra and from on the other side from Virar to Goregaon. Although between Goregaon to Borivali, there are limited services. But we are expecting the harbour line traffic to be resumed by 14 hours, by 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
And that will ensure the connectivity between the north and south, which is as of now missing between Bandra to Goregaon. And the other lines which we are expecting, the up and down first lines, we are expecting to be restored by them by 19:00 hours and 7 p.m. in the evening. And rest of the lines we are expecting by midnight.
Okay. Mr. Bhakar, where exactly is the trouble right now then? If you're expecting a lot of things to get back to normal by 2 p.m.
A lot of debris have been fallen on the track and the OHE equipment have been badly damaged.
So which lines have been impacted, sir?
The lines between the Andheri and all the 4 lines between the Andheri and Vileparle, the traffic have been suspended between this section.
Okay. So from Bandra to Goregaon, you're saying railway services have halted, right? As of now?
Yeah,
exactly. Okay. Can you once again tell us when is it expected to resume?
Ma'am, the Bandra to Goregaon patch is also served by the harbour line, which we are expected to restore by 14:00 hours.
Okay. All right. And then at 19 o'clock or 7 p.m., what is expected to resume? 19
o'clock, the up and down fast line, which we are likely to restore. And the slow lines we are likely to restore by midnight.
Okay, so fast trains will start running, you're saying, by around 7 p.m. this evening.
Yeah.
That's exactly. Even between Bandra and Goregaon.
Exactly.
All right. Okay.
Okay. From Goregaon to Borivali, you're saying service is limited, right, as of now?
Yeah.
When is it
limited from, because the trains are being started from Borivali. Goregaon is not an originating station. So limited services, we are dispatching of passengers. They can take avail services from Goregaon to Borivali. And from Borivali, there are the other up to Dhanu road, we serve the patch, which is perfectly working normal.
Okay.
Certain long-distance trains are also being terminated and they will be rescheduled because there will be disturbance among them. We have arranged buses from the best also, and almost more than 25 buses have been dispatched from Borivali towards South Mumbai.
So, you know, last year it was the Elphinstone foot-over bridge. This year it's the Andheri foot-over bridge.
Ma'am, it's not a foot-over bridge. I'll interrupt you. It's a road-over bridge.
Okay, the road-over. Yes, yeah. But you know, it's one casualty after the other, which paralyzes the city and also causes, human lives are at risk as well. So, what precaution is the Indian Railway or the Western Railway taking?
Western Railway, ma'am, do the safety audit of all the.
Is the Indian Railway or the Western Railway taking?
Western Railway, ma'am, do the safety audit of all the bridges which are in our premises before monsoon. A special drive is being done, in which we take, we ascertain the strength of all the bridges and the crucial locations. In fact, in the point of view of crowd management also, we have identified 34 FOPs in suburban section in which we have deployed our additional security staff also. And a mock drill was conducted last month also among all these stations to ensure there is no such untoward incident.
Okay.
But what exactly has happened this time, so that will be when we met our investigation, the Commissioner Railway Safety, he will be jointly assessing the situation and he will do the investigation.
Okay.
Along with the
so
BMC
in your
officials.
audit, did it show up that this bridge was precarious?
Ma'am, since it is in the jurisdiction of BMC, so I'll have to find out when was the audit of this bridge was being done and what was the precautions being taken. So that on that aspect, since Commissioner Railway Safety has already been appointed to conduct an inquiry, so once he finishes the investigation and inquiry, the details will be shared with everyone.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Parker. That is an update coming in from the Western Railway. Things right now are slow between Borivali and Goregaon, between Goregaon and Bandra. They've halted, but harbour lines between these two stations will resume by about 2 o'clock. So thereafter, things should slowly start getting back.
That's right. And just, all the viewers who are tuned in now, yes, we're tracking the markets as well. The Rima has given us the update in terms of how the rail lines are expected to resume. Also, the Dabba services, most of them are shut today. So, I think you should get out there and order your lunch as well as soon as possible, because all Dabba services, at least the ones that I've reached out to, they're not delivering their Dabbas today because of these rail disruptions. Well, getting back to the markets, we have come off the high point a tad bit. A few stocks that are slipping from the recent peak. Sun Pharma, that was up close to around 2%. That slipped a tad bit. You have HPCL as well. That's on the verge of moving into the red as we speak. And Adani Ports, that's the other stock that's come off a tad bit from the high point of the day. The advanced decline ratio, though, it's gradually improving. We have, we had nearly around 650 stocks that were advancing. That's moved closer towards 1,000 stocks. So that's good news as well. Gradually, there is some kind of improvement. Both those two stocks, both those two lines, they kissed each other. And now, in fact, they're coming more or less on even lines as we speak. Slip into a short break, come back. We'll focus more on the markets and on some stock-specific action. Well, keep an eye out on the markets, on the broader markets as well. You do have a few stocks that are moving around. I think we should get future enterprises up. I remember that stock trading more or less flattish. Now it's up nearly around 4.5% as we speak. So future enterprises should be a stock that you should be looking at as we speak. Let's get that up for you on the screen. Well, okay, all right. But let's address the news that came out in terms of Kiri Industries. Remember, they were fighting a litigation in the Singapore courtrooms, and now, in fact, that's come through in their favor. To understand what's going on there and how big a relief it is for the company, we have Mr. Manish Kiri, the MD of the company, who joins us. Hi, Mr. Kiri. Thanks so much, sir, for joining in. Tell us, sir, what is the verdict that's coming from the Singapore courts? I believe they have told one of the parties to purchase the 37% from you all. Is that correct?
Yes, that is right. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
And Singapore court actually has ruled in Kiri's favor.
Okay.
Singapore court has confirmed that minority operation has happened to Kiri.
Okay.
Singapore court also confirmed and ordered Longshan, our Chinese partner, to buy us out.
Okay.
They have also mentioned that whatever the oppressive act which are conducted by Longshan, which has deprived Kiri's benefit, which has deprived value of Dystar, all those values have to be added back in determining the fair valuation for Kiri.
Okay.
So we consider this as a landmark judgment in favor of Kiri.
Okay.
And I must say that Singapore court has done a great justice to Kiri, which Kiri has been suffering. And being a shareholder of Dystar since last 9 years, now we believe that we have been provided justice by the court in the end.
Okay. What is your sense, Manish, how much you can get for this 37.5% stake in Dystar, the current valuation, as well as, some of the relief that you will get for past instances when the, money was not accrued to Kiri Industries?
Post this order now, how the valuation will take place, what would be the valuation under the supervision of the court, which we will come to know in the next few weeks and after the case management meeting takes place.
Okay.
And the direction and the timelines would also be known at that time.
Okay.
But if you know Dystar, Kiri has disclosed Dystar results annually. And last 4 or 5 years, Dystar has been making $100 million profit after tax. And that's one of the highest profitable dye companies globally.
Okay.
So based on that, analysts are smart enough to make out the value, what could be the valuation for Dystar, and hence 38% of Kiri would be how much value as per the market perceived value.
You know, sir,
but how much value?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, sir, go ahead, sir. You were making a point.
Right. So, but the exact number would be determined after taking into account all these factors which I have mentioned, again under the supervision and guidance of the court. Okay, so
you know, Mr. Kiri, I'm looking at your profit from associates that you accounted for in your consolidated numbers. It's around 230 crores for your 37% is what you're accounting for, correct? So the profitability of the company of Dystar is around 630 crores approximately, if I just extrapolate that number. That's right?
Yes, correct. And that number is a financially reported number, which is not taking into account the operative acts, driven down number. Right. So once you add back, it would be more than that. But yes, this is the number which is the announced.
Okay. Mr. Kiri, we just want to get some more details from you. I believe you had some receivables as well that you used to account for from this Dystar. How much was that? And now you'll receive that, right? Even before this liquidation takes place, you'll be receiving that money? You used to mark some receivables in your books?
See, there are no receivables marked for Dystar as such in the books.
Okay.
Because the post valuation only we will come to know the number. So there is not that in this Kiri's report. No.
All right, Mr. Kiri, we leave it at that. Thank you very much for joining in. So up 20% on the stock. They will be able to unlock value from their subsidiaries, Dystar. Its other partner, Longsheng, that's the Chinese company, will acquire Kiri's 37.5% stake in Dystar. Let's move on then and get you some market opinion then from the street. We caught up with Pradeep Shah of Ind-Asia Fund Advisors on the road ahead for the market and the outlook for PSU banks going ahead. Listen in to what he had to say.
The Indian economy is giving very good and positive signals, but the global economy and global politics is not giving good signals. And I think we must recognize also the Indian political situation that is causing some concern, that elections looming, whether this present government will come back with the same kind of majority or will come back in the first place if you believe some people's, to that effect. So I think that uncertainty is weighing very strongly on the markets. And I think if that uncertainty were to be addressed in some way, if Prime Minister Modi's government takes positive actions which re-energizes that faith that they had gathered from the public, I think it would be wonderful for the markets. All in all, there's good progress in this public sector banks' problems. There is an inflection point that the public sector banking system has reached. They've realized that the past way of working cannot work, and this Sunil Mehta panel is indicating how it should be done. The focus is on governance. Focus is also on asset quality, growth with profitability. I think, and there is good talent, by the way, in the public sector banks. So given a little bit of governance tightening, I think the banks can emerge well out of this problem.